Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your October 2017 tarot card reading. This is for October 1st, roughly October 1st through October 15th. And I have already shuffled the cards and meditated on your sign. This is Sun, Moon, and Rising in Taurus. So if you have any of those, check it out. If this is your sun sign, check out your moon or rising sign. It'll give you a more holistic reading. Okay, let's just jump right in here. So I'm working with the Celtic cross today, and let me show you what I'm looking at. Okay, I pulled some cards. So these we have. I'll read these off to you. These two animal cards. So this is, as you know, I use this as a thematic sort of overarching umbrella energy to keep in mind as we move through the rest of the cards. So I'll start by reading this from the book. We have the moth crossed by the fire ant. So I believe Pisces got the moth as well, although it feels like a relatively different energy. So let's dive in. The moth, impulsive, hasty, wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic, whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others, jittery, and to bring into balance, finish a project. And something that really stands out for me is that idealizing others. That tendency is coming up pretty strong here for some of you. And then let's go ahead and the fire ant. Really interesting energy. There it is. Okay. The fire ant. Whoa. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful, disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips. To bring into balance, solo time, walks at night. So very interesting. When I was meditating, I heard standing out from the crowd. So when the fire ant pops up here, I feel like there is this feeling of working within the constraints of uniformity. So there's this working within uniformity and this ambition to find ways to stand out from the crowd. So there is this awareness energy here of those around you, of those you're working with, a comparison energy perhaps, that you're working through, that you're experiencing. And part of that, with that can sometimes be distracting when we're sort of looking at others. But we're wanting to make progress, and I feel that for some of you, this is saying, stay focused. Don't let others sort of pull your attention from the task at hand. There's also this energy of working the problem or working the situation. So there's this feeling that you're circumstantially perhaps not exactly where you'd like to see yourself, and you're working within an environment that feels confining to a degree or limiting, and your mindset during these next couple of weeks is how to elevate yourself. So there's this sense of sort of going for that promotion, or just really this ambition that's brewing, that's sort of fueling you right now. And I feel it's constructive. It's just really about harnessing that and maintaining focus. I just heard climbing the ladder. So let's go ahead and just keep this in mind as we move through, and I'm sure I'll touch back on this, but let's go ahead and turn these cards over and take a peek at what the next couple weeks look like. Okay, so here we go. We have, interesting, the Hermit, the Magician. Whoa. Okay. The Fool. This is recent past. This is what's anchoring and rooting the spread here. So we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed right next to the Five of Wands. Then coming into the near future, the Magician is carrying us into, whoa, this looks so beautiful, Son of Cups. And then crowning the spread, we have the Mother of Pentacles and the Daughter of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so up we have, this is sort of the general look at, your energy right now. The Hierophant, wow, this is a really potent time. The Hierophant and the Sun. And then our environment here, oh my gosh, Ten of Pentacles. Hopes and Dreams, Son of Swords. Hopes and dreams and fears as well. And then outcome, or sort of what is carrying us into the second part of October. We have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Swords. So I do have to say that there is a weariness that I'm feeling with this card. So there is, it's a lot of action, but this is a really incredible spread here. And then we have on the top of the deck, the Father of Cups reverse wanting to come out. So there is a weariness as we're moving into the second 2 weeks. I feel that there's a lot of action. You're taking a lot of action, and there is this strong fire energy, this ambition, this sensitivity, And there's this generator energy here. So there's sort of, you're really looking to generate. So there is sort of this, I just heard adrenals. So there's this kind of pumping up of your adrenals. There's something that you're really going for. And it can feel a little bit grating right now. I feel like you're working hard at something. You're working hard at something. So the Hermit. So I feel that coming into October, there's going to be this coming out of your shell. And another sign had an interesting energy. This is more in the past. But it's as though when I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Five of Wands, anchoring this spread here. And then the Fool that wanted to come out horizontally, leading in the recent past, leading us directly into the Hermit and Magician. I feel as though it's as though you were sort of going for a job or some sort of change of circumstance. I feel like I'm seeing there's this putting yourself out there. There is this applying for positions, or this trying to figure out what your way forward is. And it's almost as though you were waiting for an offer and sort of feeling like you were scrambling to find a position. And there was some disappointment there. And it's almost as though you found yourself in a position that perhaps wasn't ideal or isn't ideal, the circumstances that you're in, that you've arrived at. It doesn't feel like it's choice number one, but it does feel like it is a new position. So we're now in a new position, in a new circumstance, and it feels brand new. That unfamiliar environment, a newer environment that you're entering into here, that you've entered into. And so you're at the beginning phases of whatever this, it just feels like you're new to something. You're the new man on the team, or there's just this newness. And it feels as though you're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to find your place. There's this focus on positioning here and how to position yourself within this new environment, within this new circumstance, and position yourself in a way that is in alignment with your ambitions. So there's this analytical energy with the Hermit, this observational energy that has been present for you. And now there's this stepping into action. There's this, your focal point is around empowering yourself, rising up. And the Magician is carrying us directly into the Son of Cups. So there is this, again, that coming out energy, this new inspiration and recognition, I just heard. Still this strong observational energy here, but there is sort of this new emotional fulfillment coming in, this feeling seen and received in a way that, and like you have a place, like you're being more fully utilized and appreciated. And that is inspiring you. That's fueling you. And that's coming up here in the recent past. Taking us directly into, this is an interesting, this pair here. We have the Mother of Pentacles and the Daughter of Pentacles. So I just heard you found your team. This is your support system. And there's such a nurturing energy here and very sincere, but strong. Strong and focused. This could be two separate individuals. This could be your family. This could be more than two people. But it feels very cohesive and very supportive and grounding. And it's helping you. It's you found your place. Is sort of it's your crew, your posse, your people. For some of you, I also feel that this could be this feels familial as well. And there's this, over the next couple of weeks, there's this considering of options for a loved one. And something about looking to the future for a loved one. So I also feel that this represents your energy, male, female, it doesn't matter. But it does feel like you're going to find yourself in a position of support yourself. Supporting another. And even within the workspace, if this isn't the workspace, I feel that there is that symbiotic relationship. So you're feeling supported, and that other party is feeling supported in return. And I'm jumping back and forth between family and between work. Family, work, and sort of looking at the sense of community and support systems that are in place in both of those places in your life. So there's this balancing and this hopping back and forth between the two. So there is this stepping into your own authority here. And that I feel is the driving desire. So there's this need to use your voice in a new way. There is this people are, and this feels like, again, we're coming into sort of mid-October here, this energy where you're really asked to speak up. And it's an empowering experience. It's an empowering place to be. So there is this this pretty quick gear change from being the observer. And while you're still the observer here, you're still learning and growing, there is this, it is this promotional energy. It is this being sort of feeling more on the outside to being center stage. To being more at the heart of the matter. Center stage, I just heard again. So environmentally, looking really strong. Especially I'm feeling towards, mid-October here. Mid-October, there is this, you're feeling good about where you've landed. Launch pad. I just heard launch pad. So it feels like it's a good launch pad for you. And there is this newfound, right around the corner here, this newfound inspiration. So I feel that this is informing this experience of your environment as well. So there might have been this idea about whatever endeavor you've set off on, that it might be less than adequate. It might feel uninspiring or disenchanting. But I feel that what you're finding is, in fact, there is a lot more inspiration that you're discovering than you thought you would. Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams are coming back in. So, fears, hopes, and dreams. The Son of Swords, and again, hopes and dreams is coming up strong. So there is this new sort of dreaming energy coming up. Your dreams and your desires are coming more to the forefront of your focus. And there's this rush to articulate what that is for yourself and make it real. So there is sort of, and with the moth energy, we can sometimes experience this impulsivity, this impatience. And I feel that's being mirrored here by the Son of Swords. So there's this hastiness that you're going to have to temper a bit, work with. But really, that's a result of this ambition. So it's nothing. It's meant to work for you and support you. It really just is about not getting pulled from side to side by that impatience, by the frustration of that impatience, perhaps. There is a lot of focus in this spread. So there is this turning of wheels that's happening, and this, I just heard due diligence. So there might be some tedious tasks that you're plugging your way through. But they're pieces of the bigger picture. So in that sense, it feels very worthwhile. And dependability is coming up strong. So there is this look at your own, I feel as though you're really showing up for people, and you're conscious of being dependable. That feels like dependability is a topic of conversation that feels quite alive in your mind, and also you're hearing it sort of in your environment around you. That conversation about dependability and what does that mean? What's the value of that? And dependability. So take that for what it is. Again, coming into the second part of October here, there is this weariness a little bit. So I do feel that there's still this focus, but it's almost as though you're just finding that you have to. It's almost that feeling of that that final push. So it's that time of day when you're, that mid-afternoon slump that you might sort of find yourself in. But this Three of Wands is saying, and the Ace of Swords is saying, you're going to cut right through that, and it's worth it to do so, because although it might be a bit emotionally uncomfortable, that state, this, I heard final push again. So there is that final push. And on the other side of that, there with aces, we're looking at some sort of offer or some sort of upgrade, an opportunity. And especially with this card, I do feel like some sort of upgrade. So there is this strong promotional energy here. There is this, there is this focus and this ambition that you're working with. And also, again, new environments. So there is something about an environment that that you're now beginning to move more freely within. And there's something here about working within the machine. So that's sort of interesting. And how to work within the machine, within the structure, but also liberate yourself from that, or to elevate yourself within that. It's coming up again. So, and the Father of Cups reversed, I feel like it's just almost a side message saying that there might be moments when you're, and you don't hear me say this very often, but where it might be useful to ignore your feelings. So that tells me that as you're sort of moving through this, some uncomfortable feelings, some sort of uncomfortable impulses might come up. And it's just saying very gently and compassionately, let those go, perhaps. That might serve you. So I hope that this was helpful. Do check out your moon and rising. I'll be finishing up these videos over the next couple of days. And please like, comment, subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. I'm just wishing you all the best. This is really, really, really strong energy here. Very strong developmental energy. So there's something that's being developed. It looks great. It looks great. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right. I love you so much, and I'm sending you all the best. All my blessings. All my love.